Good evening. Hi, it's Lemurian, Donna Carol. How are you tonight? It's good to be here. It's good to be back. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and a Happy New Year. And New Year's was yesterday, of course. And actually, I went to Walmart and it was a good, good day to shop. It wasn't too crowded. So I want to welcome you back to my channel. If you haven't been to this channel yet, basically, I am a professional channel. I make my living by giving readings, teaching channeling classes, and excuse me. Basically, that's mainly it. This next year, I'll be editing my book. I've written a book. Well, it's basically a series of channeled messages from my guide, and I need to edit it and put it together. So that's my big project next year. Last year was the website. Basically, oh, I dyed my hair purple or lavender. I guess you could say lavender, just for fun, just to check it out. And I did that on Christmas Day, and it was kind of an arts and crafts project on my head, but it was a lot of fun. And I figured if I didn't like it, I could just cut it really short, but it's okay. I like it, and it'll fade out anyhow. But I'll probably keep up my colored hair because it's fun. So I will be going to Chaco Canyon with a friend of mine who is also a former student and a beautiful channel, and we are going to do an activation there. I don't know when this is going to happen, but I'm shooting for February 2nd, 2022, because the numerology 0202 2022. I think it's an auspicious day. It's also the birthday of my mother and Lalaji Maharaj, who was the Adi Guru. When you say Adi Guru, it means the founding guru. He was the Adi Guru of Sahaj Marg, or heartfulness, which is my meditation practice. And not that I'm that disciplined with it these days, but anyhow, I thought it would be really nice to go there on his birthday. And I feel like a portal's definitely going to open that day to take us into the higher ascension energies. And in case you don't know, Chaco Canyon is an indigenous community, but from the Anasazi period in New Mexico. But essentially, they have buildings that nobody can quite explain, kind of like Machu Picchu or the Great Pyramids, because the structures are so well aligned to the stars and also built in such a way that they are dumbfounded. How did these people get these stones in the middle of the desert when there's no quarry here, etc., etc.? So what I've come to realize just from contemplating Chaco Canyon is that it's an ascension portal. And it's actually in the middle of the pyramid that my friends and I activated last year. So there's a pyramid between Pagosa Springs, Albuquerque, and Sedona. And it's a pyramid of high light. And this was told to me by my channeling teacher probably 12, 13 years ago. And I really didn't, contemplate it that much. I was like, oh, that's nice. But I actually went to Pagosa Springs and activated the point in that pyramid. So Pagosa Springs been activated, Albuquerque and Sedona have been activated. So now we're going to go to Chaco Canyon and finish it up by working on the center, ground zero of that ascension pyramid. It'll be fun. I don't know. I'm just getting guided to go out there. And, I never know what's going on until like after the fact, to be honest. I get hints, I get guidance, I get pretty much pulled or told what to do. And then I go there and then it's like, oh my word, it's always a big surprise. So that keeps life interesting. So I want to say hey to Ray Doe, new hair who dis. I'm living my teenage dream. Like I didn't dye my hair purple or blue or pink when I was a teenager, so I got to do it now. Just so when I leave I can say, yeah, I was that artsy rebel. But anyhow, I'm so glad you guys are here. So I was just talking about Chaco Canyon and how we're going to activate the crap out of it. Me and my friend. Hopefully she'll want to go. If not, I'll have to go on my own. um, Also, you know, I live in New Mexico. New Mexico is the land of the ETs. I mean, there's so many underground bases here, it's unreal. White Sands, Kirtland Air Force Base, Dulce, Los Alamos, Carlsbad. Okay, it goes on and on. And most of these ETs are negative, to be honest with you. So a lot of grays, reptilians, etc., etc. So, and they are in New Mexico because the selenite's in New Mexico. The Nika caves are in Mexico. Those are the huge 35-foot crystals that are the base of that line, the 505 line that comes up 25 right through central Mexico into Crestone, Colorado. This is ground zero. This is like heavy, heavy, high vibrational, multi-dimensional energy underground. Okay, so on the top it's just the desert, right? But underground it's like a powerhouse. And that's why these bases are here. That's why the atomic bomb was first detonated in Trinity or Alamogordo, New Mexico, because it's point zero central of this. Well, actually, the base is in Mexico. It's those big crystalline big crystals, but there's an outcropping or a pouring of selenite in Alamogordo. So it's called White Sands. It's over 200 square miles of pure gypsum, which is selenite. You know, I gotta let my cat out. Sorry, she's bored. She's like, I'm out of here. I've heard this a million times. So, so now what's very interesting about this white sands, okay, if you want to Google it, you'll see beautiful white sand, high dunes, and it's a national park. However, right around White Sands is a huge rectangular area called White Sands Missile Base. So the Dark Ones have established a missile range right on this huge outcropping of selenite. I wonder why they did that. Could it be that it amplifies the energy? So White Sands Missile Range is right there. Trinity is very close by where they first detonated the atomic bomb. Nuclear, I've explained this before, nuclear is a wordplay, and it's not new and it's not clear. It's old and it's dirty and it's very nasty demonic energy. So they've kind of taken over the White Sands Missile Range, the White Sands Park Service, and Trinity. Now, being a light worker, I have plans to go down there in the spring, but let me explain one more thing about White Sands. When I was there about 9 years ago, I've only been there one time, and oh, I saw something very interesting when I was in White Sands. I was there with my sister, and we were hiking the dunes. There's a circular trail, but then if you go off trail, it's just huge white sand dunes, and people toboggan down there and slide down there, and it's a lot of fun. But we saw tracks. We literally saw tracks that looked like camel tracks, camel hoofs. Okay, there's no camels in New Mexico, but these camel hoofs, there were not 4 of them. There were two camel hoofs, meaning, but they weren't like shaped like a regular camel. They were huge. I mean, they were about 10 or 12 foot, 10 or 12 inches across. These huge prints of a bipedal animal that had hoofs like a camel. And I was like, wait a second, this doesn't make sense. There's no camels here, and these hoofs are huge. And of course, I'm so curious. It's like, which has gotten me into trouble at points in my life. But I followed the tracks because we saw them and we started following them. And my sister was like, it's a camel, it's a camel. And I'm like, no, it's not a camel, but whatever. So, excuse me. What was interesting about these tracks is that they stopped. They went on for about, I don't know, I followed them not that long. maybe 50 yards. And I can't remember, it was a long time ago, but they stopped at a circular um, series, or they stopped at tire tracks that were going in a circular motion. So this cryptoid, this creature, basically got into a vehicle because I saw the tire tracks. And it must have been like a military vehicle because the tracks were big. It wasn't like a normal tire track, or maybe it was a Hummer or something. So this creature got into the vehicle. So there's creatures underneath White Sands, probably reptilians, maybe cryptoids, or I don't know, the big camel, an animal that had a big truck like this. It was kind of frightening, but fascinating at the same time. Thank you. Thank you for the compliments on my hair. I appreciate it. You know, when you go gray, you got to do something because, I mean, it's good for a while, but then it's like, oh, I feel like an old lady. So, so anyhow, that was my experience in White Sands, but I will be going back there in the spring, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen. My other sister, so I went the first time with my older sister. Now my younger sister's coming out, and my little sister's coming out in May. We're only a year and a half apart, and she's not spiritual at all, so I have to keep a lid on it, which I understand. I have to have my boundaries. And we're going to go down to White Sands. Now, my sister's in sales, and if in the store where she works, if they make their quota every year of sales, all of the employees get a trip. They get money for a trip. So she was awarded $3,000 for a trip. So she's going to fly out here, and we're going to use the money to go to southern New Mexico. So she's treating me, which is really nice. So of course I'm going to book really expensive hotels, although there's not that many down there. It's not like Colorado. And I'm going to, we're going to go to the hot springs and have fun, but really, it's another trip to southern New Mexico. So of course I'm going to be like, have so much protection around me. I know what's down there. So we're going to go down to White Sands, but we're also going to go to the Gila. Now, this is a very fascinating place, and people are not aware of. The Gila is a national wilderness, and it was established. Let me check my volume real quick. I think it's at the max, but yes. We're going to go down to the Gila, and it's a national wilderness established in 1907 by President Theodore Roosevelt to preserve the Native American pottery down there. Yeah, right. Yeah, like they're really interested in preserving Native American culture. No, he preserved that land, and by the way, it's millions of acres. It's like million. It's a huge, huge uh, area of land, and it takes up southwest New Mexico, the whole, Now, I don't know what's down there, but I know that something's down there. It could be a reptilian base. Why did they preserve all that land down there? There's no roads. There's like one road that goes through it, but it stops. You can't really penetrate the area that well. You can hike there, and you can go to the hot springs there, but with all of this acreage, it's not like you can go into the land and see what's going on. And I know there's something going on there, but I'm not sure what it is. So of course we're going to go down there. I'm getting pulled to go there. I'm a little nervous about it because I don't think it's positive. But of course I've always been protected. I've gone to Artesia and Roswell, which was the crash in 1947 where the Greys crashed. And then they removed the Greys and the spaceship. So that whole area, and I saw a super soldier in Artesia. Yeah, that trip, I should write about that trip because it was fascinating. I saw a super soldier in Artesia, one of those genetically modified military guys, and I got so frightened because I was picking up on his energy, but he was, not human. He was a hybrid. The super soldiers are the Whack-In Hut. Basically, they are the lineage. Well, when the Nazis came over here after World War II, they came to the United States and started the NASA space program. All those rocket scientists were German scientists. They were Nazis because the Nazis got their information from the ETs. Humans did not come up with this rocketry. That all came from ETs. It was channeled. And so the German scientists, they came to the United States. They went to Argentina. They went to Bolivia. They went to South America, and they started new lives with new names, new backgrounds. They got a whole new identity. So they didn't face their war crime situation, their past, because like the Americans, we wanted their knowledge about rocketry and space and whatever. So I'm losing my train of thought. Wow, they're interfering with what I'm saying. Well, I got to just focus. So anyhow, the Wackenhut is a development that came from the Nazis that came here after World War II. And basically they are, they do a lot of genetic manipulation and a lot of genetic bioengineering in these underground bases. And they develop these creatures that are the super soldiers, and they are like rough and tough and, Terminator type of situation. And I saw one and it freaked me out because the energy was so intense. And that was in Artesia, New Mexico. They have, I think the base there is there where they have these Wackenhut or these super soldiers. So if you ever want to get into the negative ET stuff, I would say southern New Mexico is ground zero for that. And of course, there's northern New Mexico, which has Los Alamos and has the national labs, and they did a lot of biogenetic engineering underneath those labs. And even around Albuquerque, there's stuff going on, Sandia Labs. So it's a very interesting place, but it's also very dark. So you got to be prepared for that. Anyhow, so my sister is kind enough to share her $3,000 trip with me. I'm so excited. It's a blessing where you can and she didn't really want to go to the Grand Canyon or anywhere out of state. She wanted to stay here. So we're going to go to reptilian land. I hope she's ready. Okay, I want to say Happy New Year again to everybody. It's so good to see you all. So today, I just want to give a shout out to all the angels that help us every day. When I'm in the shower, the one thing that I am very, very grateful for, two things. I'm grateful for water, and I always thank God for the water to bathe in, because you know what? Some people in this world do not have clean water in which to bathe, and so I consider myself very lucky. So I thank God for the water. By the way, the Hopis say that the water is sacred. Water is sacred, and I believe Yeshua, Jesus said the same thing, and water is sacred, and I'm very grateful for water, all types of water. And I'm grateful for the angels. So I always say in the shower, I love it. I love you, angels. I love you. Thank you. Because they have just made my life worth living. And they do a lot for humans. They intercede when we call on them. They help us. They come down to bring messages. And they also incarnate. And I've met a couple, like there's not a ton of them, but there's some angelic beings walking the earth that are here to help. So we're very fortunate indeed. So I want to just take a moment and give thanks to the angels for being here. It would be a very dark place indeed if we did not have this angelic energy. By the way, New Mexico has the most beautiful sunsets of any place in the world that I've been. I mean, Hawaii has beautiful sunsets as well, but it's a reflection of the selenite under the ground. So if you ever get a chance to come through, definitely go outside at night and look at the sunsets. They're amazing. Purple, yellow, pink, all these colors are absolutely beautiful. So there's a lot of celestial energy here, and it's because that angelic energy comes through the selenite on that 505 line. You don't see these sunsets like this in neighboring states like Texas or Arizona. So if you ever get the chance, check it out. So yes, I want to thank the angels, and I want to channel one of our most favorite angels, which would be Archangel Gabriel. And of course, he is the angel, or she is the angel. I tend to think that angels are unisex or androgynous, but he was the angel that came down when Mother Mary was giving birth to Jesus when she was pregnant and told her that she would be delivering the Messiah. So he's the angelic carrier of messages. So we're going to see what kind of message he has for us today. Okay, so I know I've been rambling on, but I want to tell you about southern New Mexico. I kind of touched upon some of the experiences I had down there. I haven't really told you all of them, but it's a place of wonder. And the state is called the Land of Enchantment, so it's appropriate. But like I said, I go down there because my guide sent me down there to get information and also to clear the energy. All right, so without further ado, oh, Pamela, you're close to El Paso. Cool. I was initially thinking to move to Oregon because I'm moving this summer because it's getting too expensive where I live. But now I'm considering moving down to Alamogordo or Las Cruces or down in that area because I feel like it might be a good area to settle in, and I can do the last bit of my work down there. So we'll see what happens. Anyhow, so if you all grab your selenite, and hold it during the channelings, you'll see that the channelings, the messages, and the energy will have more of an impact on your body, mind, and spirit. So, okay. So if you would, everybody just take 3 deep breaths in and out. Just get relaxed and centered. And so at this time, I would like to call in my highest and best channeling and healing guides. I would like to invoke the archangels, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Ariel. I ask for thousands and thousands of warrior protection angels around everybody watching this video, myself, and anyone watching the video in the future. Okay. I ask for your guardian angels to protect and comfort you during this channeled message. Lastly, I ask that the Lemurian Mother Goddess oversee and overlight this session. Make my words clear, accurate, loving, and truthful. And now we bring in Archangel Gabriel for a message for these times, and we ask that it be a message of love and hope. Amen. Greetings, this is Archangel Gabriel, and I know that you are familiar with me from reading the Bible and other sacred texts, and I am very, very thrilled, actually, to be here with you today. I love communicating with all of you, and of course I am known as the Archangel of Communication, the Archangel of Deliverance, and I do deliver special messages to people at special times, either messages of warning or messages of great hope and insight to spiritual people all over the world. I would like to state that we are very pleased in the angelic realm. Yes, there are angels behind me now, and they are helping me to transmit this energy to you. We are very happy with the progression of the ascension and the absorption of the ascension energies by the light workers. We understand it has been a long, hard road, And some of you have been working on this consciously since harmonic convergence in 1987. Others of you woke up in the 90s, like this one, the channel, and still others of you have woken up in the 2000s, 10s, and now we are in the 2020s. It's hard to believe that we have been working with you consciously all of these years. This decade will be a huge decade of change, and you have seen this from what has already transpired. You have seen this from the huge earth changes going on right now, the floods, the fires, unprecedented in their number and in the effect that they've had on this planet. There have been, of course, huge changes with the COVID pandemic and the after effect of that. So these times are not for the faint of heart or for those who are easily scared. You are light workers, and you have been told many times to ignore what is going on around you and to focus on your own internal ascension process, to focus on raising your frequency and getting higher and higher in the light. You have seen that people in Colorado last week, for instance, lost their homes in fires that occurred in the winter. So all we can tell you at this time is that the only thing that you should be attached to, the only thing that is worth being attached to, is God, your ascension process, and the world of spirit. Because you can lose your home in the twinkle of an eye, in a flood or a fire, and you can be displaced, and you can suffer uh, a lot of loss in this material world as we move on higher and higher in frequency. The channel has said many times that there will be a shifting of the poles and there will be huge earth changes on this planet. However, if you are meant to ascend, you will be protected in your bodily form, and you will be delivered to the new earth to start your voyage there. So again, we are stressing non-attachment to the physical, to the material, even to your friends and family members. Unfortunately, not everyone is destined to ascend at this point in time because they cannot hold the frequency of the fifth dimension and higher. So some of these people will be checking out, transitioning at this time. We will see a lot of transitioning in the coming year, this year. And some are going to other planets to incarnate, to work off their karma, while others will take a long break in the high astral planes and work with us directly on their education and rehabilitation processes. Excuse me, this is Donna Carol. My nose itches when I channel, which is why I'm always touching my nose. Okay, bringing back in Archangel Gabriel. Sorry. So we would like to say, stay strong, stay centered, stay grounded. You want to stay grounded to Mother Earth while you also reach high, high, high for those exceptional ascension energies coming in. This is going to be a year of great acceleration. We cannot stress that enough. We are at the tail end of this ascension. Is it going to happen this year, next year, the year after? It really depends on you. To be honest, there are some angelic beings on this planet walking around who are kind of half awake, maybe not even fully awake. They need to wake up. They need to wake up fully and embody their divine soul missions. If you don't know what your soul mission is, pray. Pray to the Creator, pray to the Lemurian Mother Goddess. This is the entity that will be overseeing and running the operations of the new age, the fifth dimension, the new earth. She is an incarnation of Yeshua. Yeshua was coming from the past, a very ancient energy, and the Lemurian mother goddess comes from the future. So, and they meet in the center on earth during the shift, the great ascension, the great shift that you are now just about to experience. So, no, the ascension energy, the exact time and date is not yet known, but we can tell you that you are getting closer and closer and closer. So keep your eye on the prize, keep your energy high, keep your love high, have compassion and tolerance for those who are not there yet, for those who are embroiled in anger, hatred, and resentment. Understand that they are suffering because that is what they are emanating, and that is what they are experiencing in their metaphysical bodies. That is not who they are. They need to cleanse that and reach the spark of light that exists in every single heart in the human collective. Whether that happens now or 1,000 years from now or 10,000 years from now is up to them. Humans will incarnate over and over and over again until they get it, until they understand that love is the only thing worth saving, worth living for, and worth exchanging between each other. Exchange your love. Don't hold back. Do not hold back. Open those hearts. Send that love out. Let people know that you care. People are afraid in these times. They are confused in these times. You are, in a sense, the elite who have access to information, knowledge, and energies of the ascension. And so you are, in a sense, the chosen ones. We love you. We support you. You are our feet, our ground crew, if you will, on Mother Earth. Mother Earth wants to ascend fully. She is in the fifth dimension, and then she's back in the third, and then she's in the fifth. She's going back and forth. She really wants to be 100% in the fifth. And we are making this happen as soon as we can. Everybody is excited because they feel like 2022 is going to be a huge turning point for the energies of ascension. So my message is to you, keep your head high, keep your light bright, keep those eyes shining, and know that we are eternally grateful for your ability to carry the light on this planet, which is difficult to sojourn. And some of you have been sojourning here since ancient Lemuria. Some of you were Lyrans that were walking the earth millions of years ago. We are grateful for your dedication to the ascension and to the freeing of this planet, which has been in very dark energy for many, many years. We are grateful that you came to Earth and that you stood your ground and said, yes, I am a warrior of the light, and I am going to reclaim this planet and help Mother Earth get to higher ground so that we can all be in the light. Please understand that last year was a great, great shift of energy as Lucifer, my brother, came back to the angelic realm, at least in theory, and he will be bringing all of his followers back to the angelic realms. This is where they come from. They come from Source. We are thrilled, we are happy, and we are working with them right now on their soul plans and their journey back into the light, yes. And so this is going to take a very long time, but we are working on it. It's the beginning of the end, as they say. So again, this is Archangel Gabriel. I send you my love, my light. Anytime you need our assistance, our help in any way, we are here for you. Please understand that. Call on all the guides. We love to interact with humans. You tickle us, we laugh, and we have fun working with you. So know that you are loved, you are protected, and ultimately you are going back home, and you will be revered and honored as an Earthwalker during these times. Namaste and much love. This is Gabrielle. And now the channel will return. Well, 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 I want to thank everyone for being here. I apologize for not being on a regular schedule. This is Donna Carol. I do work sometimes in releasing or helping the dark entities go from the darkness to the light. So a lot of times I'm out of commission with migraines and headaches and body aches and whatever. So sometimes when I don't show up, I'm sick, but not all the time. So I want you to know that I love and appreciate you. I hope you have a great week. There is a special on my website, buy 3 readings, get the 4th free, save, which is a 25% savings. So if you have friends or family members that would benefit from knowing their soul mission, their galactic ties, or information about their past lives, check it out. Anyhow, love y'all, and I want you to be happy. Be happy. Much love.